How's it going again, you guys? Mr. Music Fan here. We're going to go to a quick track-by-track review of Coldplay's second studio album, Rush of Blood to the Head. And so as soon as I can get this thing on my... Okay, here we go. So let's get straight into this track-by-track review because I don't have that much time now. So, first track, Politik. This song, as I've mentioned in my Rush of Blood to the Head review, is just emotive. This is such a strong opener to this track, a very powerful opener to this album. It really the one thing I can say about this song is just that it's just the entire band dynamic, the entire emotion that bleeds from this band dynamic is just so skyscraping, so powerful. And speaking of skyscraping, it also is very, very poignant to note that the lyrics derive from the feelings and emotions following the September 11th attacks in 2001. But rather than becoming very political about it, the band instead turns this into in a lyrical sense, a very relational song. It's a very universal song for something tragic, very immensely tragic that happens. And they capture it very, very well. Just everything about the song is just so emotive. It just bleeds emotion from it. Just bleeds this passion and bleeds this cathartic emotion from it. And you hear this. I mean, lots of people have heard this song already, but in case you haven't, just please check this song out. It's such an emotional opener for this album. Second track, In My Place. Fantastic song. I especially adore Will Champion's drum beginning of this song. Again, as I mentioned in the review of this album, really it reminds me of High and Dry by Radiohead from their album The Bends, except when Johnny Buckland comes in with that very famous riff, that guitar riff in that song, then the song really picks off. It's such a great melody, and the melody just defines this song. Without Johnny Buckland's guitar melody for this song, then the song would just be nothing. And of course, Chris Martin's vocal performance, as I've mentioned, has taken such a huge leap from the first album, and it's especially evident on the previous track, Politik, but it's especially evident on In My Place, and it's just a gorgeous, fantastic song. God Put a Smile Upon Your Face. Again, the melody of this track is just so catchy, and it's just so it just drives you in. The melody of this track just kind of takes you into itself, and it's a straight awesome song all the way through this track. And again, Johnny Buckland's guitar playing is very evident on here. It's very catchy, it's very powerful, and the melody is just simply pushes this song straight through. The Scientist, again, another great, fantastic hit from this album of the 2000s decade. Especially, it's famous for the music video. Of course, all of you have seen it. I don't need to describe it to you. Chris Martin traveling through a town backwards, and it's very Radiohead-esque in a way. But the song itself also is such a gorgeous melody, such a gorgeous track. The lyrics here I especially love because it's talking about love gone wrong and the desire to kind of, let's go back to how we once, the first time we met each other. I'm going back to the start before the relationship went bad. But either way, the song's melody, the chorus, everything about the song is just simply gorgeous. It's simply catchy, and again, there's no denying this song. Another song that nobody can deny either is the next track, Clocks. The music video for this song, I remember watching it, and it was just such a powerful, such a great music video, and to an even greater song. Of course, Chris Martin mentioned that this was the band's first ever ringtone song that they invented up, and the melody, the piano melody, defines this song. The rest of the band dynamic gives this gives a force. It gives propels the song forward. The rest of the band phenomenally well, and Guy Berryman's bass playing, I would think, drives this song as well. Without Guy Berryman's bass playing, this song would just be very stale. But it really gives this song an extra flavor of just catchy awesomeness. So this song is just fantastic, clocks. I really adore this song, like many other people adore this song. Daylight. Daylight is probably the most gorgeous track off here. And of course, it's also daylight outside right now. It's extremely sunny, although it's kind of cold, but that's besides the point. This track is just simply, I'm saying gorgeous throughout this whole review and throughout, I think that's the one word I can use to describe Coldplay's music. It's just almost all the music, but it's just gorgeous. This track is just such a beautiful song. It really, it's like a rocker, but at the same time, it's not a rocker in the sense of it's hard or it's tough, but it's very rock in the sense of that it's warm. It evokes sunlight. It evokes light. It evokes the morning. It evokes the day. And this track especially really evokes that kind of imagery, that feeling of just euphoric bliss. And that's what Daylight is for me. This track is just simply gorgeous. Green Eyes. This probably is maybe the most Parachutes-like song that to ever appear on this album. It's an acoustic number that Chris Martin sings, and also the band joins in too. Again, it's a fantastic song with a fantastic melody, and Chris Martin really puts his emotion, his heart into this song to his love, and it's gorgeous. I love this song. Warning Sign, another song that I love. Something about Johnny Buckland's guitar playing when he plays that backwards riff. I don't know if it's a backwards riff or if it's some kind of guitar thing that he does, but it's beautiful. I love Johnny's guitar melody on this track. Again, like In My Place, very emotive of Radiohead. It's very emotive of Ben's era Radiohead, and Chris Martin gives his really best performance, his most heartfelt performance to date, to this particular album at least. And this song is just, I really adore this song. Warning Sign is an awesome song. A Whisper. A Whisper definitely has an Arcade Fire-like influence behind it. It definitely has this sense of doom is coming or something, this kind of ominous, I wouldn't say paranoia, but it's this ominous awareness that something is happening around us, and it's bracing. I think this is kind of like a window view, kind of like a foreshadowing of the experimentation that they will take starting from their fourth album onwards. This song kind of points ahead, at least musically and lyrically for me. It kind of points ahead to their future sound, of what they're going to experiment with from the fourth album onwards. But that being said, this is not a song that I listen to that fervently, or at least I haven't listened to all that much. So I would call this personally my least favorite track off this album. Rush of Blood to the Head, the title track. Again, as I've said in my original review, this is very Johnny Cash-esque when you take the lyric writing into account. It also has, it's not a country-esque kind of thing, but something about this song, from the melody, the performance, the band dynamic, and Chris Martin's lyrics, something about this song really reminds me of Johnny Cash. It's likely that they took a lot of Johnny Cash influence into this recording, especially the title track to this album. It's awesome, especially when it hits the chorus. That the chorus is very catchy, and it sticks in your brain too. And finally, the last track, Amsterdam. Amsterdam is probably a very satisfying closer to this album. I think it's very appropriate. The lyrics are very deep. It's very emotive. The lyrics are just, it's just so full of, the lyrics are just so passionate. They're so earnestly heartfelt, and yet they're very genuine. is genuine to the point that, like, say, this person, you have saved my life from, my own personal demons. And the band really kind of takes this and really does it very well for this closer. Like, it really opens to this climax at the end when the rest of the band comes in. And Johnny Buckland's guitar playing is pretty cool, especially on this album. And this last track is just such a very satisfying closer to this solid album, which I really, really like. And that's it. This has been a track by track review for Rush of Blood to the Head. I will see you next time, so take care.